My name is Gavin Evans, and this is my review of the movie The Feast. Now, this is a movie I heard great things about. I like the title, I like the poster, I like the premise, so I give it a shot, and I wish I didn't. This is my least favorite type of movie. It falls into a very specific subgenre, which is a pretentious horror movie where nothing happens for 95% of it, and then in the last 5% it gets really messed up, really fast, really bloody, and lots of people are just like, oh, it's an effective slow burn. Oh my goodness, the last 5 minutes will fuck you up, and everyone's just raving about it, but then you watch it and it's a raging, boring piece of shit, and that's exactly what this movie is. Now, I'll give credit where credit is due. It's a very well shot movie, and some of the editing I really love, but my goodness, I could not care less about anything else going on in this movie. The story wasn't engaging in any way. The characters were lacking in every sense. The ideas it's trying to explore, and I say that very loosely, aren't all too deep or complex. So, why would I ever watch this movie again? All it does is move slow for the sake of it. Just because you have some bloody things happen in the end, it doesn't make it effective. Can anyone just make an 85-minute long movie where nothing happens, and then in the last 5 minutes, it gets really bloody, and people will just be like, oh, if you don't like it, it just means you're impatient. It just means you don't appreciate slow burns. No, the movie was boring as shit. Just because there's some blood at the end doesn't mean it's satisfying in any freaking way. You take a movie like The Witch, one of my favorite movies of all time. That movie is just brilliant. It's beautifully shot, brilliantly directed. The script has complex characters and deals with bigger ideas, and it moves at a very slow pace, but everything it's trying to do with the characters and the story, it needs that slow pace. You look at another movie like Ex Machina. It moves at a very slow pace, but it's tackling ideas of humanity and AI. So the fact that it moves at a slow pace allows you to take in all these ideas. While this movie moves slow, beats me, what's the appeal here? Why do you watch movies? Do you watch movies for the sake of it? Because whenever I watch a movie, I want some sort of entertainment from it, or emotional response, or to give me complex ideas for me to think about. And you're just not going to get any of that from here. Just none of it. You've got my favorite genre is the horror genre, and one thing I love about it is you can explore all these different characters and relationships in meaningful ways while still being fun and still having other stuff going on. You take a movie like A Quiet Place off the top of my head. You've got this great premise of this family that's struggling to stay together after tragedy hits them. But you also add in the whole factor of these aliens that kill you if they hear a bit of sound. Now you got yourself a nice emotional family drama with an added layer of tension on top. Excellent. But this movie, it's just so nothing. It provokes nothing. It just bores you to no end, and then it ends, and you never think about it ever again. You take a whole movie like From Beyond or Reanimator, which have some amazing effects, but they're also really fun to watch. You take a movie that's messed up like Hellraiser, and at least it keeps you on edge that entire movie. It grosses you out the entire movie. The most you're going to get from this movie is you're going to be looking at the last few minutes and be like, oh, that was really gross and messed up. But there's so many movies that do that for the entire movie. You don't need the slow burn. Even a movie like The Conjuring 2, that scene with the nun painting is one of the most terrifying scenes in any movie ever. And guess what? I love how that scene builds throughout it, and then you get payoff on the same scene. So what am I saying? I'm saying you've got horror movies that can evoke emotional response, you've got terrifying movies, horror movies that are fun, and this movie is just freaking boring. I don't have anything else to say about this movie. There's nothing to talk about the performances because I thought they were all very flat. There's nothing to talk about the story or the ideas because they don't engage you in any way. And I just noticed this trend in movies like this, when nothing happens for a lot of the movie, and then 5 minutes something happens and people claim it to be a masterful slow burn. And it's just like, no, it's okay when you review movies to say it's boring as hell and that nobody should watch it because it fucking sucks. And this is one of those times. Just say it sucks. I really did not like this movie. Like I said, there was some editing in it that I liked, the way that someone will hit something with a knife and then it'll instantly cut to the next scene. And it just kind of, the one scene ends with a thud and the next scene begins with a thud, and I really like that. There's sometimes where they do the fade in, fade out editing, but like in a really cheesy manner, or at least that's the way it looks like, but it doesn't come across that way because the movie takes itself so serious. So I like that, but it's just not fitting for this style of movie. So yeah, I've said my piece. This movie's boring, don't watch it. I'm gonna go ahead and give The Feast a 1 out of 10. Okay, have you seen or eaten The Feast? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comments down below. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Stay tuned for some more videos soon, and Gavin out.